Greetings, greetings, greetings. Namaste, brothers and sisters. This is your Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. I'm your hostess, Deanne, and I hope you had a wonderful day. We had blue skies, sunny, a little cool, but when the heat turns on out here, it's going to be like 4 months. So usually May, to be exact, May through usually past my birthday. So May, June, July, August, September. So I'm was cool with having a cooler day. It was still beautiful. It was like 68 degrees, sunshine. It was just very, very nice. So ran a few errands and had to take care of a few things and some acupuncture. So that's my go-to for some healing and working on some things. And I'm starting my cleanse, as you know, on Sunday. Um, so I'm excited about that. So I will probably come on Sunday through Thursday of next week. I probably will add the day to keep you abreast of my cleanse and maybe go into other things. So like, share, subscribe, follow, like, share, subscribe, follow, like, share, subscribe, follow. And thank you again for tuning in to the Melanin Report 360. So let me go ahead. I'm going to read something, the Ten Commandments, the real Ten Commandments that I'm calling it. I'm going to read the fair use disclaimer because I am using another, place that I found this. I just wanted to cover myself and all of that. So, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So thank you for tuning in. And as the week winds down, I was in reflection today of what I was going to talk about. And I was reminded, I've been doing some flushing. Oh, I need to mute my phone so we don't get that distraction again. Let me take care of that. All right, good. So yeah, I was, trying to figure out what I was going to talk about this evening and tomorrow. And I wanted to share with you the Ten Commandments. It was actually the 10 Indian or Native American, better word, Native American commandments. And I don't know, I bought this was in a frame, and the frame fell, and I just felt like I would definitely take it and reframe it. I'd probably just buy a frame and bring it home and put it back in the frame. So I don't know when I got this. I think it may have been 2007, first year I moved to the Valley. And yeah, because I think that would make sense because I was out here for 2 years and then went back to the A and then back here in 2007. So from 9 to 13, I was in Atlanta. So it's a whole nother story, another time. Everything is in perfect divine order. So I was just reflecting and I thought this would be a real good way to kind of wind down with the week. And because it was, I don't even know where, like I said, I got it from, but they have some Native American, so 358. I think they're all males. It looks like, yeah. So I'm not gonna go into the names, but I'm just want to go ahead and discuss. I'm calling it the real Ten Commandments. So number one, I'm gonna go half today and half tomorrow. I'm just gonna do 5 today because I'm going to elaborate on what I feel, you know, there's an area of opportunity that we are missing with not doing these items. So, number one, treat the earth and all that dwells therein with respect. Treat the earth and all that dwells within with respect. Are we doing that? Are we doing it in our community? Are we doing it? Let's just start with our community. Are we doing it? Are we treating ourselves and no, I'm sorry. Are we treating the earth? Sorry. Are we treating the earth and all that dwells within, all the people, with respect? That's the number one. It's not like number one, do this, number two. It's not like that. But I'm saying that's the first. Treat the earth. And I try to be eco-friendly. I drive a Prius. I just try to do. When I first moved here in these condominiums, I went to the first HOA meeting, and I was really excited. Another purchase of a home, and I had a lot of ideas because I was in Atlanta and I was actually a planning commissioner and also a president of the neighborhood association. So for several years. And that's in Deer Park. So shout out to Deer Park. That was the very, 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 very first house that I purchased. And it was back in 1993. Wow. A lot of time has passed since then. So yeah, treat the earth and all that dwells within with respect. And so when I went to the meeting here, this was maybe four and a half. I've been here 5 years in a couple of months. So in July it'll be 5 years. So I was thinking about recycling because we didn't have any. We just have the dumpster. And I thought, why can't we get a dumpster that is just designated for recyclables? And it was kind of like, you have life, people can find reasons to do something or find reasons not to do something. So they found reasons to not do it because they said, well, people probably wouldn't use it. I'm like, huh? You have to have certain, descriptions of what needs to be in there. So that's simple, So I have to recycle private place and, we're not treating the planet. Definitely not. We clean the planet constantly. We have Save the Planet. We have all of these nonprofits, and that's good. Why can't we naturally treat the planet with respect? We all are on this planet. Like, where else are we going? I know people are trying to get to Mars or the moon or whatever, but until then, this is it. This is it. And global warming, and the previous administration, I don't think they did much of anything, if anything at all, about, global warming. I think they, dismantled that department, my recollection. So, keep that in mind. This is the only planet. We are all on the planet. This is one planet. It's not like you can go over to another planet. It's habitable. So treat the planet and all that. Treat the earth and all that dwells within with respect. So the second one, remain close to the Great Spirit. So I think Great Spirit would be a higher power than you, than me. God, Buddha. So they're not really naming the Great Spirit, but they're naming the Great Spirit as whatever your practice, or if you don't have a practice, just remain close. Remain close to the Great Spirit. Because there's so many things that take you away from your spirituality when you get into when you're driving. People are, especially because I drive the Prius, and they don't think it has much power, and so I mention that I'm just get cut off or whatever, and I just like smile. It's not even a big deal for me. But they're like anxious and all like that, and you can see the frown on their face. I'm like, girlfriend, it's not that deep, Oh my goodness. So just get to your spirituality in that moment. I definitely keep my spirituality close to me and not away. I try to always, I leave the house in prayer. I leave the house in prayer. I take a moment, not before I even walk out the door, because I don't know what I'm going to encounter. Some people, this is a zoo. Sorry for the slide. It's back and forth and up and down. So when I come back, I say a prayer. Thank you for the safe journey of my day, blah, blah, blah. I stay close to spirit. That way I don't come out of myself in anger or disappointment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, even if it's have a prayer, thank you for my safe journey, home back to safety. Thank you for a home. Thank you for, I saw this young man, very young. He was at an intersection, where I was about to turn, and I just gave him $1. Probably could have given him a little bit more, but I gave him $1, and he was very appreciative. But whenever I see someone in need, I figure I can give something. I can give something is better than nothing. That's an African. I think it's African. No, it's definitely Africa, but I don't know if it's whatever practice, but it is an African proverb. Something is better than nothing. And so I'm doing that, I'm going to say daily, because I know that people are hurting. People are hurting. And someone may say, well, Deanne, you're not a millionaire, you've got bills, da, 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 da. I can do something. No judgment. I can do something. I can definitely do something. Just do my part. That's the seeds I've been planting all my life. Just do my part. So, number 3, show great respect for your fellow being. How about that? Show great respect for your fellow beings. Are we doing that? Is there opportunity that we can do better or more, or treat everyone equally? I think this is, I was thinking about that this morning, that perhaps this is a psychological test. if the planet is, we got here, we were brought here, whatever, however you got here, you arrived in this country, and there is a big whatever, whatever deity or whatever belief you believe in, it's perfect. So if this is a test, COVID-19 is a test, this and that, and right now I think we're failing. We're failing the test, but we cannot show great respect for your fellow beings, like a human being. When we were brought here, I think 1665, I think that's around that. Well, anyway, the great ship Jesus, it's a whole nother conversation, another time. We were not even considered a human being. So that's pretty intense, yet we're still here by the powers that be. Because if you didn't create me, sense of creation, you cannot destroy me. You cannot destroy me. So we need to recognize that. We need to really recognize that. So once again, show great respect for your fellow beings. Just do your part. Do your part. Because this world is full of chaos and confusion. The less we are participating in that, the scale of Ma'at, if we're participating into the chaos and confusion, we're not participating in the love, joy, understanding we talked about yesterday, the song by Incognito. So it's one or the other. Are you bringing chaos and confusion? Is that what you're offering? Is that all that you're here to do? So yeah, I think that this would be a good time to show great respect for your fellow beings. Yeah. So, when we follow whatever teachings, or there is some, sense of beauty, joy, humble, etc., that we can extend out to the earth and to the inhabitants of the earth. And unless you're doing that, daily in your work or your business, I don't know how we're in balance right now. We're probably not in balance, And so the scale of Ma'at, we need to abide by the scale of Ma'at. And we'll probably go into that maybe next week, scale of Ma'at. So, okay. So show great respect for your fellow beings. How about that? So work together for the benefit of all mankind. We're not working together for the benefit of all mankind. No, we're not doing that. We have, at lower level, we have Democrat, Republican, Independent. We have separate, they had a vote today. I think I saw a little bit of that. And it was down party lines, for, against. So we don't look at the common good. We get into, making a decision based on our parties. And what is that about? I mean, I think it's like so juvenile. I don't like you, I'm voting against you. I mean, what is the best thing for issue at hand? I mean, what is, not ego, not my bill didn't pass. just becomes personal, and for the greater good, there is no winner. You know, we already discussed the planet is not being healed. The planet has been assaulted in many ways. Um, it's really a shame and a disgrace, because for us to be as advanced as we want to believe, um, definitely we have an arrogance in this country, and you know that is why we are in the position that we're in. Not only with the COVID, because I believe COVID, no one has the numbers of deaths. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to do a little bit of research after this um, show. I don't think any nation has the number of deaths like the U.S. Is that safe to say? I believe that's correct. So it's something we're not doing that other people have been able to do. So are we ever, picking up the phone, the current administration, picking up the phone, hey, we need help over here. We're not too proud to beg. There's a song, Ain't Too Proud to Beg. We have to turn this thing around. And, I don't know, vaccine, no vaccine. I've made a decision, but, my personal decision. And I'm not clear on what's the end game in that. Are they chipping people? That's what I listened to earlier today. It should be a chip in the vaccine. Not 100% sure, because that was another YouTube person. So I'm not to say that, but I'm not going to be too surprised if that's true. So we have biochemical warfare, as you know. So you have to be careful, careful, careful. So yeah, show great respect for your fellow beings. Show great respect for your fellow beings. And I think if we did that, that alone would wipe the slate clean. We would not have been enslaved. They wouldn't have had a four or 500 year advancement ahead of us. But because of who we are, our DNA, most of us have been able to amass just about as much as, for the percentage, 40 million Africans, melanated people. So because they had a 400-year, 500-year jump, it's amazing what we've been able to amass. So don't get it twisted. Your grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents, they did the work. They planted the seeds. And we are reaping the benefits, because we've elected not to go back to the motherland. Most of us. I have a few friends that are over there right now, and they're like, "Ian, come on out, blah, blah, blah." So I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but yeah, it may be time for a trip. So I'll just keep you posted on that. Yeah, we really need to understand, overstand what's really going on, and to just do what we can to stay sane in an insane world. And that was what was created. I don't understand why, the land of the free and home of the brave. I mean, if you decide to get the vaccine, it should be okay. If you don't decide to take the vaccine, it should be okay. You shouldn't be badgered. It seems like a lot of badgering online. I was like I said, acupuncture today. And when I came out on the main drag to get, I was taking the streets, I had to get a couple other things, do a couple other things. But I saw the sign when I came up to the main drag, and I saw, obviously the VA is not that far from where I was, and they had free COVID vaccine testing, you know. So if you do, you decide to do it, it's a family decision, it's a personal decision. That should be fine. If you do, and if you don't. You know, if you're putting yourself willfully in your harm's way, or you don't, you have religious reasons for, just like the Jehovah Witnesses, they would not take a transfusion. They would elect to pass on, but they had cards in their wallets like no transfusion or something, because they had the principles from Jehovah Witness was no transfusions. Okay, so again, it's a personal decision. It should be a personal decision, and if you do, it's the home of the free, the land of the free, home of the brave. So with that, it shouldn't be a problem if we get it or we don't. So wrapping up, number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give assistance and kindness whenever needed. That was today. Give assistance and kindness. Because a lot of people go past that young man. He couldn't have been no more than 30. If that. He may have been in his 20s. But it did not matter to me. I just felt I'm not going to say I don't. I have been fortunate. And I'm okay. I'm just going to say I'm okay. But clearly, I had more than that young man that had a knapsack and a bottle of water at the intersection, get on the interstate. So I felt I can do that. I wanted to do that. That would be awesome if we each did that. If we took a moment out of our day, our busy day, just do something nice, a neighbor, just, go, even if it's an older person, just go and sit with them, like an hour, if you know that they live by themselves. You can take them, something that you made or whatever from your heart, because we're always doing something contrary, the social media, everything is, blah, 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 just a lot of noise. And just some of the simple things, just the simple things would make such an impact, such an impact, such an impact. So give assistance and kindness wherever needed, whenever it's needed. So I'm just going to do a recap. Treat the earth and all that dwells thereof with respect. Remain close to the Great Spirit. Show great respect for your fellow beings. The 4th one, work together to benefit all mankind. Let me do that again. Work together for the benefit of all mankind. And the 5th one, give assistance and kindness wherever needed. So just those 5, we would change the planet if we did just those 5. There would be so much benefit. the fives, five. So because it wouldn't be as it is now, chaos, confusion. No matter who's in the White House, this, I mean, it's just it wasn't even built for sane sanity. Some of the things that they are talking about and passing or not passing, it just it's wow. But at the end of the day, we can each do our part to help this transcend. We're in the age of Aquarius, so it's going to be coming, whether you like it or not. We are going into a great transformation, personally, professionally, etc. So just think about the environment that you live in. If we each did our part, it would change the world, you know. It would change the world. And does the world need changing? Do you like to see what's going on now, globally, internationally? We're just like a blip on the radar because United States, this is not like the end all be all. Um, I think, travel, when I spoke to the lady last week, she said, I think you're going to be traveling more so this year. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. And I'm planning a trip now. But yeah, I believe if we just did these 5 items, it would change the world. Does the world need changing? I think so. Even if it's one community at a time, your neighborhood, you know, we can do this. We can fundamentally shift because we're in the shift shaping energy, age of Aquarius. So it's happening right now as we speak. So things are at the bottom are coming to the top. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the report tonight. I look forward to coming back on tomorrow. And be well, stay safe, and you can always put comments. Thank you so much for sharing, listening. Namaste.